So the first thing people usually try when they're trying to mix up how they make music or how their music sounds is they use what's called extended range instruments. Now this could be anything from shortening the scale length, like a ukulele, or maybe changing it up and doing like a baritone guitar, or even simply just changing the range in which your regular standard instrument, like a six-string guitar, is tuned. You can tune these strings down. I think I have it tuned to drop D right now. So that means your highest string is an E, and your lowest string, the top string, is a D. So that means when you strum a D chord all the way through, it's like this. There are plenty of songs written in this, fairly famous ones. You guys, I'm sure, know. Everybody knows Everlong by this point. If you don't, where have you been? Do you want to be in the video? So, in the spirit of music that I tend to move towards during times when I feel sad, it's a lot of folk music from the 60s and 70s. And in that time period, the 12-string guitar was actually very widely used. Paul Simon used it. There's a lot of Simon and Garfunkel, which I know is still technically Paul Simon, but it's a different band, a different project, had a different sound. They use a lot of 12-string guitars. Space Oddity by David Bowie. Everyone knows that song, I think, colloquially as Major Tom. That song, that's a 12-string guitar song. And several other songs. Famous rock groups have used it. Kansas, Dust in the Wind. I even believe the Rolling Stones have used one. And I think Guns N' Roses have also. So why don't we get my 12-string that I own and see if we can make some interesting sounds with it, shall we? So obviously the reason they call it a 12-string is because it has 12 different guitar strings, and the reason it's strung like this is because you have, for example, if you take the low E string, you're going to have your regular low E string, but on top of that low E string, or sometimes on the bottom, it depends on what kind of guitar that you have the octave string. And when you play them together, they make the same sound, but there is one pitched slightly up. And then, say you take a G chord, it sounds like this. Nice and full 12-string guitars really do that open chord sound really well. And there's also one example I gave earlier that I can't believe I completely forgot, but Pink Floyd uses this. I believe Roger Waters has his own 12-string guitar through, I think it's Gibson, that you can buy. But, I mean, you've all heard what it's been used in. But the hardest part about any of this really is putting songs to the music, right? Because if I just change how the music sounds, but the songs are still the same, it's going to sound strange. Because what people don't understand, I think, is that lyrics are intentional. Anytime you write something for music, there's feeling in every aspect of it. And when music changes, words and their meanings change also. So it's very hard, because I've never written something that sounds as bright as a 12-string guitar typically does. Like, I don't really have any songs that are all like... I don't have anything that's like that. A lot of my stuff it could probably just be played with like heavy power chords, like that. And as you can already tell from the example that I just gave, that doesn't sound good on a 12-string guitar. That's not what these things were made for. They were made for big. So, getting back to what I was saying, there's a lot of different sonic possibilities. The 12-string has a very unique sound, especially so if you play a G in first position, so regular, flipping people the bird position, you can get this sound. But when you play sevenths with it, so if you move and do like a G7 in this position, has a very calming, ethereal. It's almost like you're adding a phase effect to the guitar, so it's pushing sounds to a higher register, and you have that nice, deep, like low register of the regular strings as well. At the end of the day, I think it's just about trying something different. It's just about giving an earnest try to whatever it is I'm going to do. Because if I do this halfway and it fails, then it's almost like a confirmation bias. Oh, well, it was new and I didn't think it was going to work out. And you can't go into things like that. You can't just go, well, I'm going to try something new, but I don't know, because then immediately that I don't know becomes the whole thing. So go out and try and give it all you have. We're only, I guess 4 months into the year at this point, but you still have 8 more months. 8 months to try something new, 8 months to do something that you've never done before, and give it an honest, earnest effort. Well, that's all for me today. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, give me new music to listen to. Inspiration comes from all kinds of places, and for musicians, it's about stealing from other better musicians so that you can make this Frankenstein's monster of stuff on your own. So, from me, Nick Bentley, and my songwriting partner, Melly Tobeans. Melly, look at the camera. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And remember, change is. Get your plane right on time. And I know your part will go